Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you guys here today. As you guys can see by the title, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 19 things I've learned before turning 20. This is going to be my first video on my channel since I've turned 20 years old. I have just recently been sitting with the fact that I'm now 20. I feel like 20 is such a big turning point in your life. I'm just currently at a stage in my life where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm actually growing up. I obviously knew I would grow up, but to actually be 20 years old today right now is insane. It still doesn't feel like I'm 20. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like ever since COVID happened, I've just been stuck in feeling like I'm still 16. COVID happened when I turned 16, so it's been 4 years now, and I'm now 20, and that's absolutely insane. I just can't believe it. The reason I wanted to do this video today is for a few different reasons. So the first reason is because I saw this video idea from a girl on YouTube, and I really like the idea of sharing these things with you guys, things that I've learned. I haven't gone through anything crazy, but through just different life experiences in my life, I definitely experienced some things that I've grown from and evolved from, and I wanted to be able to share that with you guys. Also, I feel like I have a lot to share in terms of what I've learned in my life and just advice in general. I want to share that with you guys, and I don't always want my content to be revolved around, you know, vlogging a day of my life. Like, that's cute and I love that, but also I want to incorporate like business things because I want to be an entrepreneur, so I want to incorporate things like that into my channel. I want to incorporate advice videos, more sit-down videos, more like one-on-one type of videos, if that makes sense. I'm very interested in starting a podcast because I just feel like I can talk and talk and talk, and this is probably going to be a really lengthy video, so go ahead and grab your snacks, your popcorn, whatever. I have my Dunkin' that I got this morning, so I may be sipping on that and my water throughout the video, especially since I'm talking a lot. I don't want to get too parched. I want to start a podcast because I just have so much to say sometimes, and like I probably will go on so many different tangents in this video, and I just know that a podcast would really allow me to do that. I can't always speak on certain things in my videos because, especially if I'm vlogging, because it would just be too long. Vlogs are like more fast-paced, you know, more so seeing things rather than me talking. So podcasts obviously are more dedicated for sit down talking type of things. That's what I'm going to be doing today, just talking. And then especially as like I continue to grow and evolve, like I've been on YouTube for 4 years. I started this channel when I was 16 and I'm 20 now, and although I haven't made the most progress in terms of like subscribers, you know, and whatever, I've also been inconsistent on my channel too. Like I literally went a whole year without posting. I'll go months without posting, and beginning of this year I really wanted to make sure that YouTube was something that I kept up with because it's a big passion of mine, like filming and production and like all of that I really love. So I just wanted to hold myself accountable this year in terms of that. I took 2023 off. Like I did not post on YouTube at all. It just was a really tough year as well. Like I went through a lot of things that year, and maybe one day I'll open up about that during that season. Is a lot of these lessons that I'm gonna be telling you guys is what I've learned. So maybe in like a podcast episode or something like that I will talk about it, but not in today's video because that's not what today's video is about. So I prayed before I started this video because sometimes when I'm talking I kind of lose sight of what I want to say, and I will kind of go off topic, or what I'm saying I feel like doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna also try to talk slow because when I'm passionate about something that I'm speaking about, I will talk really fast because my mind will go at 100 miles per hour and my mouth like literally can't speak up. In terms of explaining things, I don't always do the best at that, so I'm gonna try my best to explain everything thoroughly and try to help it make sense so that you guys can, you know, take what you resonate with and then leave what you don't. Ultimately, my goal for my channel is to build a community of like-minded people who, you know, are very much into self-development, who want to become the best versions of themselves, you know, who are positive thinkers. So with all that being said, I think I'm officially ready to go ahead and get started. So I made a note on my phone of 19 things I've learned before turning 20. So if you see me looking at my phone or reading things off my phone, some points that I have in here I've made certain notes for that I want to make sure that I hit. So the first thing that I've learned is everything starts in your mind, and I'm actually going to scroll down to this part right here. You create your own reality, right? Like you have to think positive, you have to see good in all things, you have to do everything in love, you have to be intentional, you have to act like the person you want to become even though you're not there yet. You have to do things your higher self does. You have to say things your higher self does. You have to be your highest self even when you don't have everything yet. And I feel like this is such a true point here because if you're thinking negatively about your life, then you know our eyes are our lenses, right? So whatever you think in your mind, you're gonna see that, and your life is going to reflect that. You have to just start seeing the good in all things. Like life is really beautiful. I see beauty in the trees. Like the fact that trees give us oxygen is insane. Basically what I'm saying about that that is you just have to think positive, see good in all things, and stop focusing on the negative, because 9 times out of 10, in my experience at least, the negative are things I cannot control, and I will focus so much on what I can't control rather than what I can, and I will neglect that. I will neglect the fact that there are things I can control, but I'm so focused on things that I can't control that it literally consumes my mind. Life just becomes like this one negative big blob of just negativity. You just have to start seeing the beauty in things, and that starts with seeing the beauty in yourself as well. There's beauty in everything. There's beauty in the flowers. There's beauty in the seasons changing. The next thing is perception is everything. And what I mean by perception is everything, and I'm gonna read this off my phone. It says, well, this is what I've written, and now I'm gonna read it to y'all. Your perspective will either make or break you. You have to look at things and situations as, what is this teaching me? How is this working for me? What is the universe trying to tell me in this moment, and what can I learn from this? And this really has been one of the biggest mind shift changes that I've recently been learning. This just goes back to everything starts in your mind. And when you're going through different things in life, you have to, especially things that are like, God, like, why am I going through this crappy stuff right now? Like, I do not deserve this. Life is a journey. For one, you're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have good days and bad days, and everything that goes on in your life, you have to look at it as, what is this teaching me? How is this working for me? Because as I mentioned in another video, everything is working for you, not against you. That's also goes hand in hand with everything starts in your mind. Like, it's a mind shift change. Like, you have to change your mind to change your life. The things that I've gone through in my life, now that I look back, it definitely was a lesson. Like, it was a blessing and a lesson in disguise. Obviously, going through that turmoil and going through those rough things, I was like, I do not deserve this. I've been able to learn those lessons, and I look back and I'm thankful for that. Actually, I'm thankful for the journey, because without it, I wouldn't know what I know now. Without it, I wouldn't even be able to have 19 things to say to you guys that I've learned. I also think there's lessons in everything. Like, everything you go through, whether good or bad, it doesn't always have to be bad either. Consequences are not always bad. There's good consequences to your good actions, right? So even if you're going through something good, there's always a lesson to be learned. Emotions and feelings are temporary. For one, you won't feel how you're feeling forever. Think about every tough moment or situation you've been through and how you felt. You've gotten through that rough thing or whatever every single time. Got through it, which brought you here today. And remember that in time, things will change and things will pass. If you're sad, remember the moments you've been happy and have security, and knowing you won't always feel sad or heartbroken or lost. When I'm in a really negative headspace, like, it'll really take control over me. Like, it really will. And sometimes it's really hard to pull myself out of it. Any negative emotion or even any positive emotion, like, everything is just temporary. Like, this entire life is temporary. One day you're here and one day you're not, and that's just reality of it. I feel like for me, when I remember that everything is temporary, nothing that I have or feel is gonna last forever, I feel like there's peace in that, for me at least, because I won't always be going through the things I'm going through. I won't always be feeling sad. And as humans, our emotions fluctuate anyway. Having emotions is a part of our experience as human beings. No one's gonna ever be happy 24/7. Like, that's just unrealistic. But it's all about what you do with your bad days. I feel like that really determines overall of things, because if I'm having a bad day, I kind of just let myself feel how I feel. Do I stay in that place of sadness or anger or heartbreak? No, I don't let myself stay there, but I do allow myself to feel it, because if you don't feel it, then you're gonna run away from it, or you're going to try to fill the void. When I feel my emotions, I just feel it, deal with it, I let it be, and I let it go. That's not my identity. I'm not gonna resonate with being sad or being angry or whatever, but I can't help but be human. I'm not gonna sit up and beat myself up about being mad, or not being mad, but being sad or having a bad day. Having bad days are just fine. Comparison is the thief of joy. I am someone who is still to this day working on comparing myself. Right now, my life is not even at a state of looks. It's just more at a state of like things, because I see so many people my age or even a little bit older getting nice cars or having apartments and all this stuff, and it's just like, should I be doing that? And I'm not in college either. I want to pursue entrepreneurship, so I don't want to go to college, and college isn't for me. It just didn't work out. Like, I just don't think it's for me, and that's okay. First of all, they're not Amber and you're not them. This is your life. You're on your own frequency, you're on your own vibration, you're on your own life path and life journey. Hang on, I need to take a sip of my coffee. My throat's getting a little dry. And who's to say that you had to be doing any of this at a certain age? I often have to remind myself of that, because I will compare, and it's like, there is no timeline to this life. The only things that have put that into perspective of when people think we should have that is society. And you think I'm gonna listen to society? Absolutely not. And as long as I'm doing things for myself that I'm happy about, as long as I am waking up every day creating a life that I love, it doesn't matter what the next person is doing. It doesn't matter, because everything I want for myself will come in due time when it's supposed to. You cannot compare yourself to nobody. The only person that you can compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. That's the only person that you need to be in competition with. Stop waiting, start now. This is something I could talk about forever too, even in terms of YouTube. There were so many times where like I wanted to start doing YouTube again and I wanted to wait for everything to be perfect. You can always build, you can always grow, you can always evolve. Creators that I, have been watching for years and years and years, I'll look back at their old videos. They have the best quality? No. They had the best equipment? No. Like, they just started and look where they are today. As time goes by, you will get better, you will grow, you will evolve, and you will grow. You'll just get better, but you cannot be 100% when you first start something. That's just literally not how it works. You have to learn, you have to grow, you have to make mistakes and go through trial and errors and tribulations. The next thing I want to say is nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't do the action, if you just say things you want and you don't actually put in the work, nothing is going to happen. Like, nothing is going to change. But if you wake up every day and go to the gym and then eat right, over time you will see progress and you will see changes. But if you don't do that, nothing is going to change. The next thing I have is it's okay to outgrow people. And I feel like some people think that outgrowing people is like a negative thing. I don't think it is. I think it's actually a very positive thing. People have got to stop thinking that outgrowing people or whatever is bad blood or beef or, oh, I don't like you. Like, the people I've outgrown, I do in fact wish them the best. Like, I do not wish harm or any bad or negative to them. We just outgrew each other and that's okay. The next thing I have to say is it's okay to not be okay. These are things I've written, by the way. I'm not reading this from someone else. This is things that I've said. So it says, who said you always have to be happy? Emotions fluctuate. That's just the truth. As humans, we're constantly evolving and changing, and our feelings change too. It's okay to be happy today and barely able to get out of bed tomorrow. It's called being human, and being human is a beautiful thing. Have grace with yourself when it comes to sadness. This is only your first time living. That's important. No one ever said you had to be happy 24/7. No one said you had to smile all the time. Sometimes it's just a hard day and it's okay to cry or be sad or be upset. Feel your feelings, but don't let them consume you. The next thing I wanted to talk about is shifting your mindset is so important. Shifting your mindset changes your entire life. Mindset is everything. I've already mentioned this a little bit, so I'm not going to go too in depth with it because I feel like I've explained it pretty thoroughly. If you want to see genuine change in your life, you have to change your mindset. Like, you cannot be in this negative headspace all the time. Like, think like the person you want to become. Act like the person you want to become. Do things your higher self would do. I'm learning that now because, like, I literally just talked about me having a mind shift change. If it wasn't for that, like, I just felt so much better. The next thing I want to talk about is gratitude. Gratitude is literally just you being grateful for the fact that you can even breathe. When you think about it like that, you have to every day be thankful for the fact that you have air in your lungs, that you have all 10 toes. When you are thankful for that, you're on a very high frequency and a very high vibration. Guess what the universe is going to do? They're going to send you so many more things to be thankful for, because they're looking at you like, you're thankful to walk? Yeah, let me send you something that you really going to be thankful for. When you're grateful for everything, like I said, like, you're just going to continue to see blessings and abundance, and you're going to keep on attracting everything that you want in your life. The next thing I want to talk about is self-love is the best love / date yourself / love you how you want to be loved. I'm reading this book right now. It says, Good Vibes, Good Life, How Self-Love is the Key to Unlocking Your Greatness. This is by Vex King. I got this from Target. I read this book on my break yesterday, so I'm not super far into the book. I'm not even through chapter 1 yet, but it's this quote that I want to say because I thought it was so true and it really resonated with me when I read it. It says, self-love is the balance between accepting yourself as you are while knowing you deserve better and then working towards it. I feel like we all know how we want to be loved, but we don't give that love to ourselves. We are desiring it and seeing it from other people. You have to love yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, you will go through life letting people walk all over you, letting people step all over your boundaries, letting people just do whatever they want to do to you because you don't have no self-love or no self-value. When you have that self-love and that self-value, you have boundaries. You stand firm on your boundaries. You don't let people treat you any kind of way. Next thing I want to talk about is stop rushing, enjoy the present moment. If there's one thing I can talk about, literally I've said that so many times, but it's this right here. Sometimes I neglect the present moment so much that I'm so wrapped up in wanting this extravagant life for myself, and that's fine. Like, that's okay. okay to want that if I don't just live in the present moment, because I'm never getting this moment back in time. Past is the past, you can't go back. The future is not even here yet, so why am I like so pressed about it? The only moment that you truly have to live in, to do anything about, is the present moment. Also, be who you want to be now. Don't wait till tomorrow to get in the gym. Don't wait until tomorrow to save money. Do it now, because you don't have time. It doesn't matter what was, it doesn't matter what will be. All that matters is what is. It's the only thing that I can change. You can't grow in your comfort zone. There's no growth there. There's no change there. Back to what I was saying at the beginning, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're stuck in a cycle, it's because you're in your comfort zone. How to break your comfort zone? Well, you have to choose to get out of that comfort zone. It's called discipline. That's what it is. It's called discipline. Motivation is a feeling, and what do we say? Feelings and emotions are temporary. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is like an action. Actions are neutral. They're neither, you know, good or bad, if that makes sense. I set my phone up so I could see, because I was kind of getting tired of holding it. But the next thing I have is be the main character. This is literally your life. I saw this thing. It was like, the world doesn't revolve around you. This is like my world. Who else would it revolve around? Like, seriously. And being the main character doesn't mean you're like cocky or arrogant. No, it just means that you are confident in who you are. You love yourself. You hold yourself on a high pedestal because you're that girl or you're that guy. A lot of people think that being confident equals being arrogant, and they're two totally different things. Being arrogant is not cute. Being confident, walking into a room, holding your head high, knowing that I'm that girl, and it's not in a sense of, oh, I'm better than you or I'm better than you. It's just knowing who you are, having confidence in who you are. This is your life. So yes, be the main character. The world does revolve around you because this is your world. Like, everybody's in their own world, in their own little lane. Your life journey is literally about you. The next thing I have is what you say about yourself / to yourself matters. If you are always saying that I'm ugly, or I'm not worth it, trust and believe you're always going to feel that way about yourself. There's just no doubt. But if you start saying I'm beautiful, speaking positive affirmations to yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm worthy, I can do hard things, you know, I can accomplish things, or I can reach my goals. When you start speaking life over yourself is when your life starts to change. The next thing I want to say is don't just exist, live. Don't just exist, but live your life, girl or guy, whoever's watching. Life, for one, is too short to be so caught up in working. Live and experience life, because this is the only one we get. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. This is our physical state. I feel like we are souls. Everything around us is connected. I feel like we are the universe experiencing itself. God spoke everything into existence. I feel like we have the power to do that too. I don't know the word for it, but I don't think God is a big white man in the sky going like, you're going to hell, you're going to heaven. It's more of a vibration, frequency, a consciousness, a divine consciousness, if you will. That's what I feel like it is. I think it was this post that I saw, and I'm gonna try my best to remember. They were like, if you look at our palms, like, you know how our palms have the lines in them, they compared a leaf, you know, their stems to our hand, and it looked very similar, and we are connected in that kind of way. There is a limit to what you're capable of. The only thing in your way is you. I'm gonna go back and reference this book real quick. Greatness is about becoming the greatest version of yourself. It's about breaking the imaginary boundaries that hold you captive in a life you believe you have to settle for, and touching the realms of the unthinkable. The greatness mentality means living a life without limits, where there are infinite possibilities. We cannot define where greatness begins or ends. We can only strive to become better. Life is too short to spend it at war with yourself. Life is just too short to spend it hating yourself and not loving yourself and not truly going after every single thing that you want. The very last thing that I have for you guys is don't chase, attract. When you are in a state of attracting and not chasing, so many beautiful things come your way. You don't have to chase anything. Like, the law of attraction, hello. That is pretty much everything that I have to say for today, you guys. I don't really have anything else I want to say. That was really fun. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. You know, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. I'm not saying everything I have to say is 100% facts or whatever, but it is personal things that I've learned throughout my journey. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I know this is probably a real lengthy video. I don't know how long it is now. Nevertheless, I just hope I was able to help somebody today. But I just wanted to make this dedicated video today, and I really wanted to focus on things that I've learned before I've turned 20. And I feel like this is a great way to kind of welcome my 20-somethings into my channel. I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking because I've literally been talking this entire video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Per usual, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below. Let's see. Comment down below I'll do a little plant emoji. I will put it on the screen if you made it all the way down to this part of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and go, you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching one last time, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.